How's it going, everybody? I'm Nelson Weston, and y'all know what time it is. It's time for an all-new segment of Spotlight Carolina. Joining us today is our good friend here on this show, Dr. Sharon Fenster with South Asheville Veterinary Emergency and Specialty. Doc, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, Doc, let's talk. I want to focus on pet obesity. Why exactly is this a growing concern in today's society?
So just like people, pets can be overweight. It can cause harm on their systemic organs. It can cause them to have arthritis and lameness problems. We even see some patients that have difficulty breathing because of their obesity.
Let's unpack that further, shall we? What are some of the main factors that contribute to pet obesity and why?
So obviously overfeeding, but we also see obesity is a symptom of hypothyroidism, so low thyroid. And some of those hypothyroid patients, you can feed them tiny amounts of food and they still gain weight.
Very true. Now, Doc, given your experience, what are some of those telltale signs that a pet may in fact be overweight or obese at this moment?
So the Purina does a body condition score that they actually have. You can Google that, and it tells you how to determine what your patient's body condition score. Ideal body condition score is around 5 on a 9-point scale. And so pets that are slightly lower than 5 or 5 tend to live longer.
I see. Very interesting. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, though, what are some of those tips and advice you could share with pet owners today that will allow them to maintain their pet's weight better as they move forward?
So some animals are silly enough about food that you can actually trick them into thinking that a piece of their kibble is actually a treat. And so you can take a portion of their meal and give it to them as a treat throughout the day. There are toys that they can roll around and a piece of kibble falls out periodically. It slows them down in eating. Some owners have luck with getting low sodium green beans from the refrigerator, and then the pet thinks they're getting a piece of people food, but it's really a low calorie treat.
I got you. That's very interesting too. Now, it kind of makes me wonder though, given your background, are there certain animals and breeds out there that are genetically predisposed to obesity?
Yeah, so there are pets that we worry about when they get obese, particularly what's called the brachycephalic dogs. So the dogs with the smushed face, like bulldogs and pugs. If they're obese, they tend to have a lot of difficulty with respiration and breathing normally.
And very briefly, Doc, what are some of those medical problems that obesity can cause on the pet population? Very briefly. Yeah,
so breathing difficulty is the first one that we worry about. Dogs control their temperature through panting, and if they have a lot of excess fat, they pant a lot. They are not able to control their temperature.
All right. And for more information, of course, to book an appointment today, you can always visit southashevillevets.com.
Today's Spotlight Carolina was sponsored by South Asheville Veterinary Emergency and Specialty.